been fine, So this led to the worst experience I've had with spicy food, and a very dumb one too. So funny. This story could very well affect me getting hired at a different district, but I'm gonna say it because it shows the love of my children. So I teach third grade, and I did a lesson on heredity. So I used a habanero pepper and a ghost pepper, and I showed how those two traits combine to make what is the Reaper pepper, because the Reaper pepper is a hybrid of habanero and ghost. Um, and I had the peppers in there because I used them. So I was like, oh, look, these peppers, and they, had a bag and they passed it around and stuff. So they don't touch it. You can't touch the Reaper pepper. It's not good. Um, and then one kid said, well, can you eat it? Like, oh, eat it, because Jake Paul and all those people eat peppers and do the weird stuff on YouTube. And I said, well, tell you what, end of the school year, I'll eat a pepper. I'll eat the Carolina Reaper, the hottest pepper, the hottest natural pepper there is. And they're like, yeah. And in my head, I was like, sure. I've signed the waivers, I've done all the stuff. Like it's fine. Like it won't be different. It won't be different. The last day of school comes. My wife's in the building, in the room with the kids. The bell's about to ring. It's like a whole like everyone's in a happy mood. Everyone's singing, dancing. I love you so much, Mr. Garcia, you're the best. And the time comes where I have the Reaper pepper, and we do a little countdown. The whole school knew I was doing this, so there would be a few like teachers who'd come in. The principal knew. It was like a whole thing. Um, and I bit into the Reaper pepper, and my first mistake was I didn't act enough. Like I should have played it up because I bit into it, and my tolerance is very high. So the mouth pain didn't really affect me much. There was a little bit of mouth pain, and so the kids were kind of bored because they wanted me to do like the whole like, oh, it's so hot, and I didn't do that because I was waiting for it to have an effect, and it just didn't. I thought they would just be more impressed that I ate it, but they were just bored. They're third
They
graders. It
wanted you
makes
to
sense.
look pained.
They want me to look in pain. I was sweating a little bit, but like I don't know, they aren't patient enough, and no third grader is, so it's just kind of fizzled out. Um, so that was my first mistake because kids were like kind of filming it. They're like doing the whole thing, like Mr. Garcia's ate the pepper, and I should have played it up. Um, what I didn't realize was that it's actually really obvious now, but in sauce form, the pepper is diluted. Even if it is a Reaper, even if it's dozens of them, it's going to be diluted in vinegar and sugars and spices. Some of it's going to cook out. Like it's not the raw pepper skin. I ate the raw pepper. And so, come the time when the kids are leaving the room, they're dismissed one by one over radio. Um, the pepper skin, I can only assume touched my intestine. It's as scientific as I can think of it, because literally the pain that I experienced was so overwhelming in one general area that I started getting legit anxiety that I might have to call an ambulance. It was genuinely like, and this is someone who's like eaten spicy stuff all the time and been like experienced to eat or whatever. This wasn't heat. This was like literal like a hole burning through my stomach and me feeling it. Um, and I'm starting to like really grimace and like make a face, and my wife's in there and she's like, looking at me like, "Are you okay?" And like I God, at one, and keep in mind there are children coming up to me. I gave them toys and they're leaving for the school year. They say, Mr. Garcia, I'll never forget you. You're so great. And I'm literally like spasming out, like physically, like it's, I can't hide it. I literally cannot hide it. At one point, I hugged a little girl and I was doing this, like a Voldemort thing. And like I got on my knee and hugged her. And I literally was in such distress. At one point, there was one kid who looked at me and was just kind of like pointed, like the one kid knew it had happened to me. And it got so bad that I actually had to leave the room. thankfully Danielle's credentialed so she could watch children. And I went to the bathroom and I didn't use the bathroom. I just screamed in the mirror because it wasn't like that kind of pain. It was just like genuine stress that I could die and that I burned a hole in my stomach chemically, and that there was a genuine fear that maybe I'll pass out in front of my kids. Like maybe I poisoned myself. This wasn't a pepper gag. This was poison. I poisoned myself. There was a good few minutes, and like I don't know, like I guess I self spiked myself, but the only thing I can compare it to is like being under an influence, like around children. I didn't realize that was what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like hot, and maybe the next day I'd feel a little rough. But no, literally, it was being under the influence because I was like doing this and like grimacing, and it was bad. Thankfully, my wife was there. um,
Wow.
the the scariest thing, and here's the scary part. After 10 minutes, it was gone forever. Usually with spicy stuff, everything happens the next day, which is also why I felt confident taking it because I was like, well, even if I'm sick, it's a Saturday. I have nothing to do. This was 10 minutes of excruciating pain immediately and then never again, which truly makes me think, oh, something got burned in my stomach. And I haven't looked yet. I haven't gone to a doctor yet. I'm afraid of what they'll say. I haven't had any signs, but if I die early, you can tell that story at the funeral and be like,
The kids.
he
Oh,
couldn't just give the kids juice boxes. He had to he had to be weird and eat a pepper in front of them.
oh my God, dude.
I don't know why that shit's so hysterical to me. Just picturing you in your classroom trying not to keel over. Yeah,
It's
you're a real one.
what was funny was just the situation too, because how the fuck are you gonna tell a principal that or like an EMT that? Like I ate a pepper in front of children because I thought they'd think I was cool. Like it's just not there's no way to make it good, make
Make
it
it sound
sound.
better.
Yeah, no, it's just dumb no matter what. And thankfully at my school, like everyone knows me and they were in on that. But yeah, it's bad. The kids won't forget that though. I'll tell you that much.
That's
No,
wild.
no, yeah, no teachers are gonna eat peppers for them.
I had to say, I like how you said the first mistake I made was not showing something, like not showing emotion for it. But I was like, that was not the first mistake you made. But
The first mistake was eating it, but it was for nothing though, because a lot of the kids were leaving, so they didn't really like get that I was in pain.
yeah,
It was just kind of like, oh, he ate it. Like at least had I played it up, it would have been more of a laugh factor thing, and they would have, a lot of kids forgot about it. They're like, oh yeah, you did that, which is contradicts the never forgetting thing. They forgot.
well,
So oh
kids,
well.
screw 'em. But couple questions about that. Well,
Sure.
first off, there is some like weird religious thing where people do have, or not like religious, but like I've heard in some cultures where they like have hot, spicy food to kind of like reach nirvana or kind of like go through a sort of a psychedelic state.
Hmm.
I've heard of that before. So you kind of just invoked that during your
At work.
that work.
I definitely saw God or a God of some kind.
Oh my God. And then the other thing, I don't